Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Beta Breakdown. It's been quite a while. There's a lot going on, so I want to just get started with that. It's going to be sort of a good news, bad news situation today. There are, without hopefully needing explanation on that, some changes that I think are unfortunate, and about 84% of people are also agreeing that these changes are unwelcome. And then we have some good changes as well. So, hey guys, just want to remind you of the other game that I'm playing at the moment, Gemstone Legends. It's trying to take some of the things that Empires and Puzzles did well and improve upon them, and trying to take some of the things that Empires and Puzzles did not do well and also improve upon them. So that's pretty cool. There's a lot more strategy, room for strategy, both in terms of how you play the board and also in terms of how you play the heroes. So it's pretty cool. I welcome you to check it out for yourself if you're interested in doing that. You can get 50 free summons, some gold and gems, which is all a $50 value for free. So if you want to check it out for free, do some summoning, see what you get, see if you like it, join a guild, all that kind of stuff. There's a link in the description down below. And as you may already be aware, lots of other players from Empires and Puzzles have come to check this game out and have liked what they've seen so far. And it's one of those things where if you want to be the most competitive, you have to be one of the early adopters. So this free summoning package is a great incentive to get yourself started. The other cool thing is because it's a new game, they are really open to player feedback, and they want to create a game that players love. And if you've been playing Empires and Puzzles for any amount of time, you know that it feels the opposite of that in this game. So that part's really cool. I like that they're open to that. They really want to hear your feedback, what you want to see in the game, what you don't want to see in the game. So if you feel like your voice hasn't been heard in Empires and Puzzles, come over to Gemstone Legends. Let us know what you think. And thanks for checking it out. Okay, so the bad news is there are new ways to further level up 5-star heroes. They're calling it limit breaking. There are items that can be gained from a new limit breaker quest. They come in 5 elements and 3 rarities, rare, epic, and legendary. From what I've seen, it looks like you need a combination of all of these to further level up a legendary hero. And the 3 levels of rarity do seem to imply that this can be done for rare, epic, and legendary heroes. All that I've seen so far has been on legendary heroes. I think that tends to be what most people are fixated on, but I can't say whether or not this works. It does just say you can apply 1 limit breaker per hero, so it doesn't say legendary hero. So we'll assume that it applies to more than just legendaries, even though that will probably be the primary focus. So each limit breaker increases the max level by 5. And then it's worth noting here that it says, however, each additional level of those 5 gives quite a considerable stat boost. So maybe it's more like 10 levels, and the 5 is sort of arbitrary if suddenly the stat increases are far higher than they normally would as you're leveling up. Usually you get a couple points per attack, defense, and HP as you're leveling up, and this sounds like you're going to get more than that. Once limit broken, advancing the additional levels will cost food, iron, experience, and ascension items. So we don't know what those ascension items are. It's going to cost these limit breakers as well, and then also ascension items. So God, if the 5th level takes 1 tonic or something for a green, that's going to be really annoying. I can see plenty of people being okay with that, because one of the hardest things about ascending heroes is getting the groups of ascension items. So having singles is not quite that bad, but just for a few extra levels seems like that would be a high cost. So maybe it's just a good way to use up all these items that we have sitting in our inventories, like tall boots and chainmail and all this kind of stuff that no one really cares about. But yeah, this so far takes the form of a, if you look at the hero card, you can see as the ascensions go up, you gain one of those yellow chevrons for each ascension. For a legendary hero, that would be 4. And what this looks like from what I've seen is a pink chevron on the lowest tier. So does that mean there's going to be additional limit breaks in the future? I don't know. They would definitely have had to build that into the system that they created now for this. So it's really hard to say what their plans are. But if you look at this poll, almost 80% of people feel very negative about this. And you can see the author's note here right at the bottom. Yes, I personally hate the concept of this. Hate is quite a strong word, but from people that I've talked to in beta, they're also very against this and are hoping that they can have success shooting this idea down, similar to what happened with those costumes, the proposed costumes for some of these strongest heroes in the game, like Killhair, Finley, Gravemaker. So we still are definitely going to see non-Season 1 costumes, without a doubt, coming to the game. There were supposed to be summer event hero costumes entering beta by the end of March, but I never saw that happen. So I guess that got pushed back for some reason. But people are opposed to this. Jump in the comments right now and let me know what your thoughts are on this. If you think this is a good idea, bad idea, and why. I learned a lot from reading your guys' opinions as well. And, hopefully you guys learned from me sharing mine. So let's keep the conversation going. Jump in the comments and let me know what you guys think about this. And we'll probably see more revisions to this, so we'll cover that as that's happening. But let's look at the good news next. Okay, so the good news is that we are seeing balance updates to some of the older and least desirable heroes in the game. That's always a good thing. This might be a pessimistic opinion, so let me know if you disagree or if you agree with this, but I feel like they might only be inflating stats of the older heroes so they can continue to release the super overpowered stuff to get people to chase after it. If the gap between the older heroes and the newer heroes is narrowed slightly, people might be less opposed to the sort of crazy things that they seem to want to be doing. It's like if they give us a little, then they can take a lot. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't like having that sort of pessimistic opinion about things, but I don't have the most faith in this company based on the decisions that I've seen and sort of the lack of, the overtime lack of consideration for the player base. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into the exciting part of this. So the first one is Agir, which is how you pronounce that. It's not Agir. There are different pronunciations depending on where you are in the world, but that seems to be the one that is most correct. So I'm trying to slide these in one at a time so I don't distract you. Defense all allies get increased from 30% to 35%. So not a big change, but a welcome change. If you have any of these heroes leveled up, you're going to be happy to see this because they get a little bit better. He's still one of the best the best no green buff booster tank for tournaments. So if you don't have them leveled, this might not be enough to sway you depending on what your options are, but any boost to older heroes, in my opinion, is a good thing, and that we should give positive reinforcement for these kinds of changes, assuming that it's not at the expense of allowing other crazy stuff to happen in the game. But if we want this stuff to happen, I think it's good to positively reinforce when they take these actions. Mickey, kind of surprised to see Mickey getting a buff because Mickey is the best Titan hero in the game, to the point that people use him on all color Titans, not even just red. So duration of silence increased from 4 turns to 5 turns. That's pretty awesome. Mickey's also one of the greatest rush attack offensive heroes, or even defensive. I use Mickey at 370 both for Titans and in rush attack, because that silence, mana control is the most potent special skill for rush attack, and that silence can be a lifesaver. So extending it by 25% is pretty awesome. So I'm happy about that. Nor, one of the most hated heroes in the game is getting a buff. Is it enough? Can I rhyme with that again? No. It's not enough in my opinion. 5% increase for HP and attack. I mean, she has very chunky minions, but yeah, she's still not so great. But if you ever leveled, she just got a little bit better, so that's still cool. Season 1 buffs. Outside of costumes. Interesting. Domitia, damage increase from 410 to 440. That's a significant increase. I feel like it's absolutely justified. 410 for average speed with just a dispel and, increased defense for yellow is pretty weak. The question I have, which is going to come into play for all of these Season 1 buffs, which has not been answered from what I can tell, is how will this impact the costumes? I would think that the costume should also receive the same buff, in which case her costume is quite good now, or better, depending on what your other options are. Thorn, damage increase from 480 to 490, so a much more conservative change. He's a decent event hero just because he hits 3 pretty hard, so this makes him a little bit better. Not a game changer, but a little bit better. Leonidas, damage increase from 365 to 415. So that makes his costume hugely desirable now. The base form, I can't see why you would ever use that, but that's a significant increase. And again, totally justified. He's also average speed. 365 is just ridiculously weak this far into the game based on the power creep that they have created. Obicon, damage increase from 260 to 310. So again, quite a significant increase. One of the more significant increases. Horgal, everyone's favorite. Damage increase from 235 to 280. Again, nice. Not going to change my mind about leveling any of these heroes except Leonidas, who I would have leveled, with the costume already anyways, but that's a nice boost should I get him. Justice, damage increase from 240 to 285, so that's quite significant. And if that is true for her costume as well, then that's going to be an incredible rush attack costume. 285 up front is quite good, and it's increased by either somewhere between 40 and 50% for each dead enemy, I think. It might be ally, I can't quite remember that, but it's one of those two where it can go up, so that can be pretty devastating in the right circumstances, so that's nice. Kagan, damage increase from 360 to 380, so pretty much anyone that competes in the events at the legendary level or for the Ninja Tower, this is huge. Kagan already had the highest damage to 3 in the game, and he hits evenly. A lot of the hit 3 heroes like Thorn or Hatter or a lot of these other popular ones hit the center the hardest, and so you can often kill the center hero and then now you're split between the sides. It's like picking up a spare in bowling. But Kagan hits all of them equally, so he was already very desirable for event teams because of how hard he hit, and if you just give him a mana potion, it doesn't really matter what his speed is. So 20% increase, 380 to 3 is quite good. So that's the extent of it. Small Giant staff have indicated that they do not plan to adjust the values at this stage. There's some typos in there. Small Giant staff have indicated that they do not plan to adjust the values at this stage. Numbers, these are all of the heroes intended. Okay, I don't quite understand that since there's some communication barrier there. But it sounds like this is the full list for right now. So yeah, there's good news, bad news of today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you think this is enough to balance things out, if it's not enough, if you think there are some key heroes that got ignored. I think there's going to be a lot of strong opinions about that because there are a lot of heroes that feel weak in the game when you compare them to the crazy heroes that are coming out now. And let me know what you think about the limit breaker thing that's coming up. So, as another reminder, if you are frustrated by the direction of this game, another game that I am playing is Gemstone Legends, which I think is actively trying to improve on the frustrations seen in this game. This game has been wildly successful, so of course it has other imitators, but I feel like they're really innovating on the concept and being receptive to player feedback and trying to create another home for people that might be frustrated with the progression of this game. So link in the description to download that, promo code #Spock to get yourself free summons, which according to them is a $50 value, which is pretty generous, for free. So go ahead and check that out. It's a fun game. This has been Beta Breakdown. Hopefully we'll have more of these soon. I want to talk about Season 4 Heroes and some other stuff that's coming up. I've seen some images floating around for Season 4 Heroes that are not yet documented on the forum, and they are just crazy. One of them, which, it's in beta, sure, but I feel like the fact that they come out at this level indicates they're trying to push as hard as they can, and they're using beta just to draw things down as far as they need to, but they are really trying to push and accelerate the game. But this hero was a blue hero, I think a ranger, 220% damage to all at fast speed with an undispellable minus 34% defense for 3 turns. So it's like taking what Finley was doing already and just making it undispellable and guaranteed damage to all, with those ridiculous Season 4 stats like an attack of 775 to start, and I think Ranger class, which has I think is one of the classes with some of the most attack nodes available. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you want me to keep doing these beta breakdown videos, leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any uploads. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.